I'm Johnny Vaughan.
I've struck brass, gang.
And this is Steve Brooker, otherwise known as Mud God.
I actually want to change history.
He's one of a select group of licensed amateur archaeologists known as mudlarks, who scour the banks of the River Thames, searching not for buried treasure, but for hidden history, and whose discoveries have changed our understanding of London forever.
There's stuff in that mud that no one's ever seen before.
On the Thames foreshore lies over 2,000 years of history just waiting to be discovered.
And that's what does it for me.
But larking's no job for those afraid to get stuck in. To wade through time, you've got to be prepared to get your hands dirty, armed with little more than a trowel and a lot of patience.
No!
Wait.
Steve's agreed to share with me his decades of knowledge and experience.
It's cold.
We'll race against time and tide to get to the bottom of London's muddy history.
Oh, yes!
Our adventures on the foreshore will propel us on historical quests that range from the sublime to the painful.
Ow!
To the downright disgusting.
Oh, man, that reeks! Oh, God. Out the shed, out the shed.
As we become Mudmen. In today's Mudmen, there's a new king of the foreshore.
Today is my day.
Steve goes for a gorgeous Georgian makeover, and things get personal as we investigate the 18th century obsession with duelling.
Come for you, Steve. Going down.
Today we're in Limehouse, East London, on the north side of the Thames. The name itself comes from the lime oasts or kilns established there in the 14th century and used to produce quicklime for building mortar. From its foundation, Limehouse has always enjoyed a much closer relationship with the river than the land, and that's because all around me was once an inhospitable marsh. Over the years, sailors came here and formed permanent communities on the shore, and it became a very international bit of the port. So you've got loads of sailors, loads of the associated industries, sail making, rope making, shipbuilding, and all these things hopefully are going to provide rich pickings once we get down to the foreshore with my mate Steve Brooksy-Brooker. Steve! Right, so Steve, this week you brought me down to Limehouse. Tell me about the place.
It's one of my favourite places. You've only got to look at it just to know it. It just reeks 17th century. Look down there, it's beautiful.
I've got to tell you, as you point down to Canary Wharf and say that, I don't necessarily
No, to the left.
OK, got you.
Now, of course, it was a medieval dock, so there's plenty of shipbuilding going on here, rope making. Now, just imagine that you could actually walk from this side to that side via boats.
OK. What else is in Limehouse?
It was London's first Chinatown.
Really?
Yeah, a massive influx of Chinese coming here, importing tea, opium.
Opium?
Yeah, just imagine the opium dens up there.
How come they left here?
Oh, Second World War, it was just bombed to bits down here, so of course they all moved to Soho.
Is that when it all started then? So Chinatown literally moves from Limehouse here and then they go to Soho?
Yeah.
They know about real estate, don't they, eh? Let's get larking.
Today we've got less than 90 minutes before the river comes in and any hidden history is lost. Steve is one of 51 mudlarks who's allowed to dig down 1 metre. My foreshore licence allows me to dig down a measly 3 inches. Steve says size doesn't matter when it comes to holes, but it makes me feel like a junior mudman.
OK, so Steve, am I in for another day here of you finding lots of stuff and me finding nothing? And you going, oh, you'll get the knee pads next week?
I'm actually liking the way you're caressing that.
Really?
Yeah, you see most people here, they get stuck in like this. You're not going to see anything, so what you do is you caress it towards you. You're looking good.
OK.
And it is, it's just
you're trying to fire me up on a day when I feel I just need something to just, you know...
Fortunately, me and the slightly forlorn Vaughanie won't be going it alone. Helping us dig up London's buried past today is Mackie, husband and wife duo GM and Steph, and old Blue Eyes himself, Rock God, and Stolly the Mudhound.
So Steve, is this a really good area for finds? You've had a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, it's very bitty.
Wait. Sorry, Steve. I found my first coin here. I found a coin.
You put that there, didn't you?
I didn't put that there.
I'm sure you put that
I
there
haven't.
because...
Hey, it is... George V.
Yeah, but it's a coin. It shows you're getting your eyes in.
Thank you, the Sailor King. In your face, in my bucket. Done it. Coin 1. Oh, yes. What?
You stuck there.
All I'm saying is it's a different monarch to the one we're on. For me, that makes it historical.
I suppose so.
Okay. Steve, you're really poo-pooing stuff there, matey.
It seems hidden artefacts are like buses. You wait all day for one, then suddenly a cliche comes along.
Hey, look, a little doll's plate. Thank you. Thank you.
It is as well. You stuck that there,
I
haven't you?
didn't stick that. We're going to get a little look at that. Thank you very much. No,
You've brought stuff with you, haven't you?
I haven't brought anything with me. I've just pulled out a George V coin, and that, today, is my day.
But it's actually thrown me that you've had that because I don't actually know what to say. Because I would, yeah, in a million years, I'd never thought you'd get that.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that is really good.
That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really
Okay,
good.
brilliant.
And also, it basically looks like nothing to the average person.
No. So how old is that?
Well, we can check with this with Jeff, yeah, but this can start, 13th century onwards. So I'm probably...
Oh, man. He's found a 13th century children's plate.
But we're probably talking 16th on this. But we'll see what Jeff says. Jeff will tell us.
Okay, we'll see what Jeff says. I'm so made up with this. I mean, that really is why I started mudlarking, to find, genuine little intriguing slices of history like that tells us a bit about how they lived, what went on, and everyday objects. Just fantastic, isn't it? There we go.
And also, it's that feel. How do you actually feel? It's
a buzz.
Yeah,
Steve.
it's a buzz, yeah.
It's a buzz.
While Johnny enjoys his larking buzz, I'm going to check in with the other Mudmen to see how they've got on.
Right, Steve, what are you at?
It's a bit poor at the moment. Your missus been down here?
No, but hang on a minute. Actually, they're better than mine, I think.
They're better than mine, actually,
Yeah.
as well. They're quite nice, though.
Want to clean it up a little bit, though. A bit like yours, really.
Yeah, they do. Thank you.
That's nice. Quite a nice back. Oh, it's nice. What's here?
Yeah, of course. Do you know what it is?
It looks like a tomback, doesn't it?
Yeah, dandy button.
Oh, very nice.
So, Mackie, I've showed you mine. Are you going to show me yours?
Well, it's probably a little bit better. I mean, it's definitely bigger than yours.
No, nothing's bigger than mine. That's quite nice. Yeah, a little
nice,
fork. What we should do, we'll tap this off later on,
Yeah.
just like the museum does. We'll tap that off and we'll have a look. Yeah, but that's quite nice.
Quite nice. Yeah. I've got quite a collection of those now. That'll go well with it.
What age?
I think it's probably 19th century.
Yeah, maybe a tiny bit earlier. And what else you had up?
Ah, you'll like this.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. But this, to me, it's lovely. It's a pendant. I'm not sure what age, but very, very nice. And then the detail on it is phenomenal.
That's really strange. Actually, looks like a Winchester.
Yeah, that is nice.
So it's like a little rifle, but it's actually on a it would have been on a pendant or something. It's actually got a fixing on top there. But it's really nice. I've never seen one before. It's nice. Well, could you head up?
Hello, mate. A few little bits. I told you about those police badges down there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Again?
Yeah, another one.
I tell you, unbelievable.
Isn't
Right.
it?
How many is that you had up?
That's the third one I've had up. But they're always folded up, always. So it just makes me think that they've been folded up so they could never be used again. And what better place to throw them than in the mud in the Thames?
Well said that.
Dandy button.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just imagine that all the way down.
Imagine all the bling.
Yeah, the
that
bling
you'd
of
have
the
had.
day.
Exactly.
Enticing the women.
Yeah.
Yeah, another nice find.
Yeah.
But also, you get quite a few dandy buttons down here. So, again, showing that the area is well, there we go.
There we go.
We go from the dandy button to the wig curler.
To the wig curler. It's only half, unfortunately, but
Yeah, any
still,
makers, Mark?
not that I can see on there. I've not had a good look yet, but...
And of course, the whole caboodle would be lovely white wig, white face, beauty spot.
Oh, yeah, you're halfway there, really, aren't you?
Such a good beauty spot. Yeah, we could have a picnic on this, but it's again just two items referring to the dandy. It's a great area for dandies.
Really good area down here for that kind of stuff.
So what else have you got there? Oh, 303.
303, yeah.
And of course, this has been in the water for the last 50, 60 years.
Careful, it's live.
Yeah, thank you. But hopefully, it should be inert.
Inert.
But of course, you can never tell, so you should always be careful with these things. Place them in your bucket carefully, maybe take them down to your local police station, or throw them out as far as you
Which
can
is
get
where
them.
that one is going to be going in a short while.
You are a top man. You are protecting the public,
Absolutely,
young
yeah.
children,
Yeah.
and dogs.
And dogs, especially the hound, because she'll think that's a biscuit.
Yes, yes, Dolly will eat that.
She will.
She'll fart and kill somebody.
With precious little time left on the foreshore, it looks like Johnny's on a roll.
What's that? Oh, a trade token!
Ah.
No, it's earlier. It's not a trade token, it's something even earlier.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, I'm talking about how things attract and everything, yeah, but that is a rose farthing.
Is it a rose farthing?
Yeah, so it's 1600s,
Yeah.
but it's So you've actually had out, right? So this is like a
No,
progression.
it's an extraordinary rock. Oh, yes!
You can tell this has been out a while because of the colouring.
Yeah.
But you were good because you said 17th century token. You got the same size.
Yeah.
It's a bit, I mean, it's a
Is
bit
that what it is, a rose farthing?
It's a rose farthing,
So what
yeah.
year is that?
I think that's 1625, something like that.
1625.
1600s.
And there's the rose on it just there. This is so exciting, isn't it?
But then you think, like, casual loss, or imagine the ferries going back and forth.
Yeah.
You'd actually come across for a rose farthing.
Yeah.
So, you know, was there a ferry point here?
Can I just ask how much, I know we never talk about value, but what to a collector? I mean, it's a really good one. What's that worth? No, I'm saying it's a good one because I found it. Go on, what's it worth?
We're talking 30 quid.
30 quid?
30 smackers.
Oh, man. Treasure. Arr.
Is it treasure or is it the 30 quid that's
It's
society?
treasure, mate. It's treasure because I
30 quid.
found it and it's worth something.
And that's what I must admit, that's really good, yeah, because you've had 3 coins together and it proves the point how things attract.
Yeah. I think we're going to carry on in this little place here for a bit. How's this?
No.
Oh, look, the water's coming. I forgot the suspense of the larking.
In the next part of Mudmen, Johnny learns that tide and time literally waits for no man.
Unless you get this out now, that's it, it's all over for you.
Scrape! Scrape like the wind!
And there's only one subject up for discussion at Mudmen HQ.
But enough about that. Let's get back to meat because that's what's most important to me.
Fine.
Right. Today, mud god Steve Brooker and I are on the Foreshore at Limehouse to unearth London's muddy history. I've come up trumps with my finds so far. Thank you! But the tide is creeping up fast and we're running out of foreshore. I'm just discovering the real adrenaline thing of mudlarking, which of course I've never come up against before because I've never found a rich seam to mine on the beach here, metaphorically, because I've got the tide now, which I'm battling against. How many times have you lost things or lost a great sight to the tide? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, it does, it happens a lot. But imagine, you'll come back tomorrow and what you thought you had there, or maybe what could have been there, has totally gone. This could be all mud, it could be all sand again, it could be all rock. So unless you get this out now, that's it, it's all over for you. You've probably got a minute, if that.
Move bucket, just move. Oh no, my sight.
Yeah, that's one of those things always.
Yeah.
Look.
Washer. The coin! We're racing against the tide now. There really is seconds to go before we lose this sight. We're really up against it. And the adrenaline is pumping. Steve, literally, how long have we got before that water there covers this here?
30 seconds.
Okay, let's dig. Scrape like the wind. And this really is the excitement, the pumping adrenaline. The 2 men with trowels and buckets. This is larking at its best. Wild and free, up against the clock. Time, tide, waiting for no man. Hey! There we go. It's gone. It's gone. My word, it's gone. There we go. Wow, though. Steve, I don't really want to talk about who won that engagement, but is there a new sheriff in town?
No, I hate you. I hate you, Louis.
Who's
the
does it with the
expert?
trowel?
Who's the
He
expert?
plunged him. Oh,
That's cheesed me off something big time.
I bet it has. Safely back on dry land, it's time to find out a little more about our bounty. And there's only one man for the job. The bearded lord of the foreshore, polymath extraordinaire Jeff Egan. Now, there's only 2 things you really need to know about Jeff. 1, the last time he was clean-shaven was when he was still in the pram. And 2, he's a liaison officer at the British Museum, which means he knows his stuff. So here they are, the Limehouse lovelies. A good variety of really, I think, intriguing objects here. Everything from a little bit of militaria to some false teeth down there. Lovely coins here. But enough about that. Let's get back to me. Really my first big day mudlarking as a mudman. Go on then, Jeff. Talk to us generally what we found here, and then you can get to mine specifically because that's what's most important to me.
Fine.
Right.
Okay, well, again, a big range of material, mainly relatively late. Focus perhaps on the 18th century here, though there are inevitably earlier things, 17th century. And here we've got a little cluster of, this is a shoe buckle, really rather nice. You can see there's 2 of these false gems surviving.
Are they fake gems, are they?
They're glass, they're paste, I'm afraid, as you would expect, but they're probably imitating something that really was diamond in the aristocracy. But nice that it's still got the gems, and indeed you've got 2 gems that are similar but bigger. Possibly those are going to be from cufflinks of the 18th century. A nice belt buckle there, And these strange-looking objects are both parts. They won't go together, but that's what they would have looked like, and they're a wig curler if you put them together. And that is if you had a wig, as every male did in those days, and probably some women as well, and you wanted to groom it when it became unkempt, you would put it on a sort of a head, have it by your dressing table, and you would groom its curls in these things.
Right.
And sometimes, though it isn't here, you would put pieces of newspaper around to actually hold it, and you get the negative of the newspaper headlines on these. They're made of pipe clay.
So you can actually put a date to it, actually, if you find the paper.
You can be very, very specific if you can find the paper.
The day it was last used. How extraordinary. I mean, that's living history, isn't it?
That's right. And made by the same people as these clay pipes. A number of those are 18th century as well. There's this early 17th century one there for the small...
There's some good bowls there and stems. OK, what else we got here then, Jeff? This padlock.
Yes, well, let's talk about that.
You love a padlock, so we're going to leave this today because I think it's all about me and Jeff today. What else we got, Jeff?
We do have another one of these farthings, but this is the smallest.
I was kidding, Steve. Jeff and I would love you to look at this. We pre-arranged that over an ale downstairs.
I don't know if I should do it now or not. But I will do, because I love them so much. It says, can you read that? It's a terrible light in here.
It's 1801, London, it says. It's the year, of course, of the Battle of Copenhagen, which Nelson took part in. And it is, of course, the year the United Kingdom was actually made the United Kingdom, 1801, so a very significant year in British history.
Well, let's have a look at what you found, shall we?
Yes, let's.
Things.
OK. Well, first of all, the key find, and I think this really did get the envy of the Mudmen back there, who are actually sedating themselves pretty well with ale over there, because I think they're gutted that the shambling novice actually got this, which is a small pewter plate for presumably a medieval kid's doll's house.
It's certainly a toy, and it is pewter, but I think it's a frying pan.
OK.
It's missing the handle, and it's an 18th century one. Oh. And if you look very carefully in there, you can see what's left of 2 fish, possibly 3 fish.
Do you know, you're absolutely right. There's 2 fish in there, head to tail.
That's what PA.
Oh, no, there's 3. There's 3.
3, good.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So, very nice find.
Yeah, lovely find. What else we got? We've got, oh yes, this is my rose farthing.
That's it?
OK, so tell me about the rose farthing. I gather one of the other larks said they've always wanted to find one.
Well, as you can see, it's obviously very small, so it's a wonderful thing to have found. Did you find this by a metal detector or by eye?
No, just found it by eye.
Purely by eye. Oh, that's very well done. And what you perhaps can't see is that there's supposed to be, this is basically copper alloy, or fairly pure copper, but there's a little V of brass put in it, if it's a real one, to show that it is real. And if that were cleaned, it should show up as a sort of yellowish metal and a V at the top, and a redder metal everywhere else in the coin, on the flan, on the disc. So that would be interesting to see whether it is.
OK, what else we got here then?
The bling of the day. Down the front, it was basically to entice women.
It was to entice women, did you say?
Of course, yes. It was. It was to bring women to you.
The flame.
It was. I like the chap. I don't know if my dear sister, but I like the chap with the shiny buttons. Oh, funny.
Beauty spot.
Yeah. OK. Fair enough. I blush. My dear sister Fanny, I blush for the man with the big buttons.
So yeah, very Georgian, a really Georgian feel there.
OK. Well, among all this material, this very varied material, as you seem to have got on every single day, and your items here especially, of course.
Mine.
And the ones that have really taken my eye are the 18th century ones. Yours among them, and this little group here. And it's a real eye-opener, a way into the Georgian London and all its fashions.
OK.
Our finds today had a distinctly Georgian slant, so it's time for Steve and I to go our separate ways, armed with enthusiasm and a desire to find out what a couple of fine young bucks like us would have got up to in the 18th century. Coming up, Steve gets transformed into dandy eye candy. Whilst I indulge in a few Georgian pleasures. Booze, gambling and, of course, sex. After a good day's mudlarking at Limehouse, myself and mud god Steve Brooker came up with a treasure trove of artefacts with a decidedly Georgian feel. Now we want some more expert illumination, and for Steve, that means a sojourn into the effete world of the dandy. Armed with our Foreshore finds, he's off to meet the Queen of Regency, Lucy Inglis, at the Museum of London and get better acquainted with the golden age of the foppish dandy.
Well, Lucy, we're on the Foreshore, Johnny and I, and we have 3 dandy buttons and also a shoe buckle. What do you think of those?
Well, let's do the shoe buckle first of all. I agree with you. I think it's a shoe buckle. I think it's probably for a lady's shoe, the size of it. It would have been very sparkly and pretty when it was new. Then these buttons are... They're not really dandy buttons. What do you mean when you say dandy button?
There's probably about 150 of us that work the Foreshore, and we've done it for years and years and years, and we all think these are dandy buttons.
Yes, but it's probably a modern term applied to buttons of the late 18th century, as these are. I think you're getting confused between dandies and macaronis.
Macaroni? I thought that was pasta.
I can see why you'd be confused, because the caricatures of the time, the cartoons, are wildly overdone. So you have these crazy wigs, 4-foot-high wigs and big curls, and on the macaronis.
Well, that's what I think as a dandy.
No. A dandy is much cooler. Dandies tended to be super smart and clean, and favoured very white linen against dark, very fine jackets, waistcoats, coats, and very often wore their hair natural and would never have been seen dead in makeup. During the 18th century, early on when the Grand Tour started, people became familiar with continental ways and the outlandish ways of the French and Italians. And by the 1770s, 80s, 90s, everybody aspired to be beautiful, men and women. So you do get a certain type of men who dressed in an effeminate manner and overdid the buttons and the ribbons and the makeup and the wigs. And they're the macaronis.
So dandies, well looked up to, good-looking guys, intelligent, well followed. But when it comes to the macaronis, we're talking, I don't know, jumped-up poodles, really.
Yeah.
Well, Maggie seemed to think that macaronis were a bit